What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Pull up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, boys and girls, what's going on? Good evening and welcome to this roadside edition of Cage Star Christopher James, recapping UFC 261 live from Jacksonville, Florida, from the ViStar Memorial Coliseum. And what a night of fights. It was fucking awesome. I'm telling you, man, from the opening night, first two fights, just crazy action, crazy fun. 13 fights overall. Since I am in the car and I don't have all my notes with me, we are going to just go over the main card right now. I will do a full recap tomorrow in the afternoon. Kind of right there we go. We'll do that. So feel free to leave your comments. I can see them, so I can respond to them. So we'll go right to the main card. Let me put this up a little bit so we have a little less noise. And if you're there watching, man, chime in with the comments. Say hello, bro, or lady, bro, or sis. What's up, baby? So anyway, so like I said, UFC 261 is now in the books. We're going to cover the main card right now. We start the main card, Anthony Lionheart Smith and Jimmy Crute. I was expecting this to be an epic fight, and it started out really good. Anthony Smith was pumping that jab. He was having great success with it. And while he was doing that, craziest card ever, Clinton, no doubt, man. It was definitely nuts. But he was having success with that jab. And Crute was actually throwing leg kicks, peppering up the lead leg of Smith. And then all of a sudden, boom, Anthony Smith decides to throw a leg kick. He threw one kick, ended the fight with that one kick. It was so weird to watch. I thought that the leg was broken. I mean, the way it folded up when he stood back up, the fact that he was able to secure two takedowns and really go to work on top of Smith is a testament to the intestinal fortitude and the toughness of this kid. I hope they run this one back. Obviously, if the leg wasn't broken, Anthony Smith landed a perfectly placed kick, caught the nerve, dead in the foot, case closed. But one kick. He only threw one kick. Crazy fight. I felt horrible for Crute. But that's the fight game, right? So then we move on. Next card, or next fight, excuse me. Chris Weidman and Uriah Hall, a grudge match. They fought 11 years ago. Weidman beat him. And, you know, Uriah Hall wanted this fight back in a bad, bad way. Fight starts. They're dancing around. No action. You know, Weidman threw a couple of shots here and there. And then Weidman throws the first kick of the fight. Fucking, when he throws his kick, he catches Uriah Hall behind the knee. Uriah Hall twisted ever so slightly and checked the kick. The leg broke. One of the grossest things I've ever seen. Grosser than when Anderson Silva broke his leg, when Weidman, coincidentally, checked his kick. Such an eerie thing to happen for Chris Weidman. To do that to Anderson Silva and then to be on the receiving end of it. Horrible. I wish Weidman the best. I hope he recovers quick. I don't know if we'll see him back in the octagon ever again. Excuse me. And you could tell Uriah Hall was shaken up. It reminded me of Uriah Hall's performance on The Ultimate Fighter when he head kicked Adam, I can't remember the guy's name, and knocked him out uncle with a spinning heel kick to the head. He was shook up then. He was shook up tonight. Hall becomes the first fighter in the history of the UFC to win a fight via TKO, and maybe just a fight overall without throwing one strike. Not one hand, not one leg. Crazy. And I got the images. I put up some pictures of it. I actually have the video of the fight. I am not going to share it because I don't want to get my page shut down. But I've watched it a couple of times, and it turns my stomach so horribly. So, you know, that kind of sucks. But again, that's the fight game. Hall needed a win. He got a win. Congratulations to him. I'm sure that's not how he wanted to win. I'm sure that nobody expected that to win. I almost went to go look at the Vegas lines to see if there was a way to bet prior to the fight, like a prop bet or something, of Weidman breaking his leg. You know, can you imagine if that was a bet and you bet that, you put $100 on, the odds had to be astronomical. You would have been rich. Would have been like you bought Dogecoin. But we move on. 3 title fights coming up. Valentina Shevchenko and Jessica Andrade. Shevchenko showed absolute dominance, as she has done in every one of her title defenses. She reminded me of George St. Pierre, who was the best at adapting and stealing, to some degree, the style of the person he was matching. If you were a striker, he wanted to figure out how to outstrike you. If you were a great grappler, he was going to figure out how to outwork you on the ground. Jessica Andrade likes to bully, come forward, clinch, and work in that position, take you down, throw you around. Valentina had none of it. Valentina controlled the ground game. Valentina initiated the takedown and, had the dominant position on top through most of the fight. Put her in that crucifix and just start beating the ever-living shit out of her. Cut her, split her, bled her. Next. I don't think there's a 125er out there that can beat Valentina. I don't think she can beat Amanda Nunes. So I know people want to see that fight for a third time. For me, I don't care if it was a close fight or not. Amanda beat her twice. Move on. Valentina should stay in her lane. I think she's a little too small to get up to 135. And, she'll give Amanda a good fight, but the result will be the same. So I don't know who's next for the champ. I do know that whoever it is more than likely in for a bad day at the office if they fight her. Now we move on to the co-main event. Zhang Weili, or Weili Zhang, taking on Thug Rose Namajunas for the strawweight championship. Thug Rose, in the beginning of the fight, before she even made the walk to the center, she was just sitting there talking to her, saying, "I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best." Sounded like my grandson. We tell him, "I'm the best, I'm number one." Hey, whatever it takes to get you, hyped up and lit up for a fight. If that's what Rose needs to do, well, God damn it, you can't argue with the results now, can you? She went out there. Zhang was trying to, use the leg kicks and everything to keep Rose at a distance, work a little bit. But Rose, man, when she's on, she's on. And boy, was she on. She landed that spectacular head kick, completely turned off the lights of Zhang, and then went down and finished her on the ground. Zhang protested. She didn't like the stoppage. Joe Rogan posed a question to her post-fight, which I thought they weren't going to do post-fight interviews with people that got, beat up. And in all 3 title fights, they did that. I was very disappointed in that. There's no reason to, bring a fighter to the center and talk about their loss when they just lost. It's not cool. I think it's kind of in bad taste. But they did it, and Zhang said even after, she still felt that the stoppage was unjust. She felt it wasn't right. She said she was conscious and she was awake. And then she walked out of the octagon. But Rose, Joe interviewed her. I did it. And she kept, Joe said, you brought that up. I was talking about where she was going, I'm the best, I'm the best. She goes, well, I am. She pulled the same kind of thing at UFC 217 when she beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk. UFC 217 was also another night with 3 title fights. Rose involved in both of these, upsets the champion in both of them. Rose also becomes the first woman to ever reclaim a title in any of the female divisions in the UFC. So that's another, accomplishment. That's a first. We'll see how long she can hold on to the title right now. What her reign will be, we don't know. But we do know that she is the best in the world tonight, and hats off to her. I picked against her. I thought Zhang was going to go out there and beat her up. Not discounting Rose, but I wasn't going to, crap on the champion after what I've seen her do so far. and the odds makers agreed with me to pick her. Of course, I picked Valentina, and I really, wanted to, we'll move to the main event. I really wanted to pick Masvidal to win, but I knew, that Masvidal, as badass as he is, it's BMF, and love the guy to death. Doing idiot. I love the guy to death, and I would have loved to see him take the belt home to Miami, but I just knew that Usman is just on another level right now. And people sleep on his striking, and we've seen him. He finished Colby with punches, right? He finished a couple other people too, along the way with punches. His striking has vastly improved, although we did see some amateur striking tonight, where he was trying to really, load up those punches and put power behind it. And there was a couple times you saw he looked sloppy, looked very amateurish, but he landed it when it counted, and it was a beautiful freaking right hand, and just turned out the lights of Masvidal. Masvidal took a second to come back to earth. He didn't believe that it happened, but it did. Masvidal was very gracious in defeat because, again, they spoke to him. And Usman, he was pretty cool during his thing. He didn't get overly cocky. He said he's the best in the world, and deservedly so. He said he's continuing to improve every single time he comes in, which he is. He's improving in every single fight, and he's going to continue to dominate that division right now. I'm not a fan of the Colby-Covington rematch because he already fought him and lost. There's, Leon Edwards is out there, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is out there. And I think before we start playing, rematch every fight out there, you've got to give these guys their opportunities. So, if Roberts beats Nate Diaz, then shouldn't he be next because he's the next highest ranked guy up that hasn't already lost to the champ? And then there's Wonderboy just a couple spots behind. And yes, he fought the champion when it was Woodley, but he hasn't fought Usman. So, but he looked phenomenal. Excuse me. And I don't know who's going to beat him because, Cormier said if his striking catches up with his wrestling and groundwork and grappling, I don't see anybody beating him. And that's not to disrespect anybody. But there are levels to this, and we're witnessing, a run, that could end like Demetrius Johnson or John Jones or GSP, or Anderson Silva. All these guys that had huge long title runs along the way. Usman's on that path, and I don't see anybody slowing him down at this point. If you guys could tell me somebody that's going to slow him down, please enlighten me. But I'm looking at the prospects out there right now, and for me, it's Edwards. Should be in there in the conversation ahead of Covington, and so should Thompson. And I'm not even saying Covington doesn't deserve to maybe take another crack at him, but we've got guys. I don't want to see repeat fights all the time. I want to see new fights. I want to see talent that hasn't had their shot at Usman yet. We've already seen these other fights, so I'm not a fan. But I'm going to watch it. It's going to be interesting. There's no doubt about it. The build-up is going to be phenomenal. The hype is going to be crazy, and the world will tune in and watch. So. Like I said, tomorrow I will do a main card. I'll do a full recap. I'll hit all the fights on the prelims as well. Brendan Allen did a great job with that heel hook. Very slick. My dude, Jeffrey Molina, what a fucking fight by that dude. He put it on. Woo! Third round came out. God, I can't remember the girls in the first fight, but what a killer. So there's a lot to talk about tomorrow as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the fights, but and again, how about also Daniel Cormier confronting Jake Paul in the arena, letting that boy know that don't play with me because I will knock you out. And he went up and told him straight up, and he was riled up. Cormier, would floor this kid. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed hearing the fans roar inside the arena. It was music to my ears. It was something, that we've all been missing. For those of you that attended, I hope you had the time of your lives. Doesn't that sound like a French song where or Seinfeld? I hope you had the time of your life. It was like the end of their season, right? The end of their show.
Dirty Dancing.
Huh?
Dirty Dancing.
No. Wrong. Dirty Dancing. No. It's something unbelievable, and in the end, it's like that. It was at the, huh? It was like they played that at the end of either Seinfeld or Friends. Like it was in a montage. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Whatever. RJN, what's up, baby? What a card, man. Congratulations on getting that stuff for your license. I'm proud of you, brother. Great work out there. So anyway, phenomenal night. I hope you guys that went enjoyed the hell out of it. More fights are coming. UFC 262 in Houston. It's going to be another huge event. Pay-per-view, fans in attendance. Vegas coming up in 263. I think, no, 263 doesn't have a date yet, or has a date, no venue yet. But it's going to be Adesanya versus Vettori for the middleweight title. It sucks because Whitaker should really be the next shot. But Whitaker just fought. Obviously, he's going to take a little break. I would love to see him come right back and turn around, because, he deserves a fight more than anybody else. But that's it, boys and girls. Like I said, I hope you had a good time watching the fights. You could feel the vibe at home, and the energy coming through the TV was so nice. Glad I live in Florida. Thank you, Governor DeSantis, for making all this possible. Thank you, Dana White and the UFC, for, coming back here after our state opened our doors to you last year when all this started. Shout out to Patrick Cunningham, the executive director of the Florida Boxing Commission, for being willing to go out there and put these fights together. And basically, we've been working since last year. A lot of regional shows here in Florida, Island Fights, some of the other ones. We've been doing work, doing shows. We've been allowed. So, and we've had fans at our shows. So that's it. I will catch you guys on Thursday night. Could have Tyler Diamond on. I'll do the recap show tomorrow, but Thursday night interviews Tyler Diamond. I'm chasing down Jeffrey Molina and Brendan Allen as well. I should have a confirmation for both of them a little later on tonight or tomorrow morning. So we're going to get on some of these folks on the show. And then next week, after that show, I'm on vacation for about 10 or 12 days. You won't see really a lot of me on social media, maybe some pictures. When I get to Pensacola for Island Fights on May 7th or May 6th, I'll get there for weigh-ins. But next week is after the weekend. It's my 5-year wedding anniversary with my wife, Beth. And we're going up to Tennessee and North Carolina to celebrate. That's where we got married. We're going to go back to the spot where we got married. We're going to, just do some cool stuff. And then down to Pensacola for fights. It's kind of like our wedding week. We went up to Tennessee, got married, came down to Miami. I did an event at the end of our wedding week. So it's symmetry. It's full circle. It's chi. Be the ball. Breathe through your eyelids. That's it, boys and girls. Thanks for letting me be a part of your life tonight, for you guys being a part of mine. I definitely appreciate it. Until next time, I am Christopher James, and you, my friends, y'all have been Cage Side. We'll talk to you again later on. Good. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, my God. I can't follow him. There it is. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip the Deuces. There you go, baby.